So let's check them out right now. See what they look like. Right, I'm presuming this is the first one, but I could be wrong. Let's see here. So, I Am Person versus Iamturk on Great Plains. This is the first map that we do in the best of 3 series of this tournament. Is Great Plains, followed by Saguenay, followed by Mongolia. That's the order right now, so just so you know. Alright, so an Aztec versus a India. Now, that's a pretty fascinating one. Should be pretty fun, honestly. Now, in this particular matchup, I would probably say I would put my money on the India myself. At least that's what I would do. I think India has a lot of advantages coming into a fight against Aztecs because they got a wonderful wonder. A wondrous wonder that they can basically defend against Aztec pressure with, which would be the Agra Fort. I think if you have an Agra Fort and you're able to supply constant set plays to it, you kind of put the Indians, the Aztecs on thin ice there, and you should be able to pressure them pretty good. At least that's what I think, you know. I don't have a lot of experience playing as Aztecs in Definitive Edition. I have a little bit. It's been kind of bittersweet, but my experience with the Indians, very huge. It's probably my best ranked civ in this game, so I can speak highly on behalf of Indian performance. And I can tell you what sort of civs I always seem to do great against, and I think Aztecs were one of the ones where I really had a good handle on, usually. Yeah, definitely. So, I don't know exactly what this Aztec is going to do here, so there's sort of 2 ways we can go Aztecs, realistically, in a battle game like this. So, you can go straight up 1v1, go hard rush, which looks like this deck is geared towards, or it can go more of the fast fortress route, and just try to hit them with your noble hut units later on. So it is looking a little bit more of a hard aggro deck, because we do see this card here, the 11 Mayan Allies. This is typically a card we include in rush decks with the Aztecs, and it's quite a good one because it's a native warrior that doesn't cost any pop, and it's sort of like a musketeer, which your civ lacks. So yeah, definitely a good rushing unit. Now, on the other side of the aisle, let's look at India. Land. Yep, that's one thing we can say for sure. Indian decks are pretty consistent across the board in this tournament. You know, you can basically tell what they're going to look like. You can already sort of predict their game plans, sort of. Yep, so first card with India is always going to be the Wood Trickle one, Distributivism. You don't get villager cards as India, because every card you send as India gives you a free villager. So why have villager cards when you're just receiving them for free anyways with every other card in the game? I don't know. Yeah. Alright, so gonna go with a defensive Agra Fort. Not a bad play. I totally respect it. It should make you a little bit more immune to Aztec pressure. If he is paying attention to the Aztec deck, the Indian might notice, hey, it's called Russian Aztecs, which means pretty much we're going to be rushing you out of the gate. That's kind of what that tells you right away, because Russian Aztecs says, alright, this is an aggro deck, because Russians were an aggro civ. So if you put Russians in your deck name, that means, hey, I'm going to attack you early, so you better have a defense rate. What better way to have a defense than having a huge giant fort sitting right there to provide some ranged cover fire against an attacking enemy? Oh yeah, no, it's totally makes sense. So what's this treasure here that they were competing for? 85 wood. Now that's a pretty big treasure there, you know, especially for India that actually has to use wood to afford their villagers. Yeah, that could totally go into probably more of these architects, I would guarantee you. So that's quite good for the India player there. Actually picking up civil servants right now, which sort of does a little bit of all the natural resources put together. A little bit towards hunting, a little bit towards mining, a little towards wood, a little bit towards berries. Pretty flexible. Yep, so right here we see 700 wood coming in for the India. Same for the Aztecs. They're going to start out with their Aztec scouting party, Big Bun. It's a very powerful start for Aztecs because it sends you an instant batch of 4 Jag Knights. These Jag Knights have multipliers against cavalry, and they have multipliers against heavy infantry. So, in terms of India, they could fight their Sepoys, they could fight their Sawars, they could fight their Mahouts, they could fight their Zambraks, they could fight their Howdas, with the proper numbers that is. So they can fight a whole bunch of stuff. in the Indian roster. The only thing they really couldn't fight would probably be Gurkhas and some certain consulate units in India gets. Definitely couldn't fight Arumis. Arumi's another scary one for them, but everything else they can kind of deal with. Oh, wait a minute, no, the Arumis? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, yeah, because the Arumis are kind of like a melee skirm, so you wouldn't want to fight those with Jag Knights. Alright, so out of the gate, the India is ready to attack with Sepoys. Got 2 free ones from the Agra Fort, and was able to train in 3 additional ones right away from that building. So able to push on the Aztecs right now, so I just shoved them off. Gonna go after their converted treasure guardian there, it looks like. Picking up the hunting eagles, followed by the blanket filters for the mining, and then professional hunters for another hunting tech. So this India is moving along pretty quickly. He knows he needs to put the pressure on the Aztec, because the Aztec could be planning a fast fortress, and we don't want to see what happened yesterday, remember with the Kinesi game? Kinesi basically got to H3 and he started pelting his musketeer-using opponent with Jag Knights to the point of death. Yeah, that'll happen to you if you don't sort of keep that Aztec under control. It'll be quite deadly for you. So it does look like here the Aztec is pretty low on resources, and he is going to be pushing in with a huge shipment of Mayan Javelineers here, the Holcon Javelineers they shipped in. He also has a batch of Coyote Runners already that he trained up at his war hut, so he's pressing pretty hard on the India. Ow! Watch your bills. Hey, watch the bills, you're losing them. Lose another one, and he's going to lose another villager, and another villager's down. Just like CBA 9 Tech and AoE 2. Another villager's down, so yeah, be careful of those. Yeah, see, this is the problem here. He's kind of has to deal with these Jag Knights first, and then he has to deal with these Antonins, which are going to deal some pretty strong anti-musket damage against him, so he has to be careful of those now. He does call out his emergency troops, which I think is an appropriate call here. How's the Agra Fort doing health-wise? That fort is going down, so yeah, he got a pretty good run of the mill on the siege of that thing, so it looks like that wonder is going to be lost. Aztecs going for a full Russian-style push here with tons of Antonins. Should be enough. Alright, now he has to retreat because he doesn't have enough to siege with. And he certainly doesn't want to take a bunch of free town slayer shots into his troops, so he's probably going to try to pull out, I would assume. Yep. Yeah, no, he's going to take a ton of range attacks here. Yeah, the problem with Antons is they're very weak, and basically it only takes 2 shots to down one of them with the town slayer, so you got to be really careful about how you manage them. Yep. And now looks like Aztecs have a batch of Puma Spearmen on the prowl, looks like. They got some Puma Spearmen there to help with siege. Obviously, that's quite good. They got Puma Spearman shipment, then they're sending another Antonin Slinger shipment, and they're going to be training some Coyote Runners now. So, kind of getting a little bit of everything there. India did send out their Salwar shipment, so that will be where the Spears want to focus their aim on there. Trying to get rid of those camels. Those big stinky camels. So now, you see Antonin Slingers fighting these infantry here. Right, Spearmen moving forward now. Good. What's going on this side? Alright, so the Slingers are finding their way through the Sepoys. Coyote Runners clumping their way through these camels. Oh man, look at all those limbs there. Quite good. Yeah, looks like the India's totally pinned at this point into his base. Not a lot of room to train stuff. I mean, he's able to get a little bit of coin to maybe get out, like, at least 4 Sepoys, but that's still not a clean situation to get rid of this rushing opponent here. Whereas the Aztec is going hard in rush, so he's actually pretty low on resources himself now. So all you really need to do as India is get this rush under control and, like, put an end to his army. Once you do that, things will start looking brighter for you. That's really all the India has to do is just survive here, because the Aztec is obviously not booming up. He's literally stopped villager production to go for an all-out rush. It's kind of those all-out rushes that we've seen Chorizo Zarate do in the Wardero community. When he does Definitive Edition, he'll like outright rush somebody and stop doing economy. It's very intense and it can wipe out the opponent, but if it doesn't work, then you like instantly die. It's a very risky business. That's all I'm saying. What else can the India send? Can he like ship anything else? He's got gold, he's got foreign logging, so he does have a few cards he can do. Alright, so he gets a free shot on the Unslinger there. See, I'm going to be paying attention to how many kills the India can get on those Untaunans. See if we can get a bunch of free snipes on these slingers. Basically, I think the India wins. Alright, so the India is maintaining, he has 14 set points. So the India, I think, is in the favored position. Because why? Aztecs have stopped villager production. They're actually being forced to ship in 5 villagers to try to recover their vill count a little bit. And their army is in shambles. They got like 3 slingers. They're doing spearmen now. So like, spearmen is garbage against these sepoys. They're like dead weight. So really, Aztec is armyless right now against these sepoys. All you could really do at this point against mass sepoys like that would be like a massive Untaunted slingers, which he is not in any shape to spam out right now. He's on 1 more hut and his resources are like on the fritz right now. So he's really not in good shape here. Yeah, he's going to queue up slingers again. Yeah, no, I don't like this at all for the Aztec player. Also, the India does get some Gurkhas, so that's going to be the nail in the coffin to the Puma Spearman. So if he does go for another siege on him, Gurkhas will drop them instantly. Yeah, so that combination of Sepoy Gurkha, that's fatal here. Like, Aztecs can't deal with that right now. They're done. Whoever Aztec thinks he's going to get done here is, like, dead. Dead weight. Yeah, see that? See, that's what I'm talking about. Basically, India was able to stall out as long as they had to and get the proper defense, and they were able to basically hold it out until they were able to get enough troops there that they could, like, whittle down Aztec's army. And Aztec's mistake in this was basically stopping villager production and going for an all-out rush when they knew they were losing steam, and they should have maybe tried getting a few extra villages in so they could maybe go for more slingers, because the key here was mass slingers, right? Maybe a little bit of spearmen or coyotes to protect it, but it was really just spamming of the slingers. That really is what we were supposed to see here, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, so let's go to the next one now. Let's see how it looks on Sagune. That'll be game number 2. Pulling that up right now. Yeah, that was a good first one, I think. What do you think? Did you think that was a good learning experience? Honestly, that's what I was talking about. You know, I was saying that my money is on the India player. That's the sort of stuff I would always run into in ranked games against Aztecs. The Aztecs would try really hard to, like, knock me out, and 99% of the time, India's roster and their Agra 4 can just stonewall it and just stop it right then and there. So yeah, that was... I saw it coming. I don't know if you saw it coming, but I saw it coming. That's all I'm saying, basically, in that situation. So now we are going to be looking at, let me go down here to second Iamturk versus person there. Cool, let's do that. Okay, here we are. We got Iamperson playing as Aztecs, and Iamturk is switched to the French. Since once you win as a civ in these series, then you have to change your civ up. It's a requirement. So Iamturk will be running as French against the Aztecs this time. I think in this situation, honestly, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Now, typically what we've seen from most of the French in this tournament is they open with stable. So, maybe French will have to perhaps open musket maybe and then add hussar in for the slingers. Yeah. No. I think France can handle the Aztec just fine, because if Aztec is playing the same way he did last time and going with the same build, all France really needs to do is hunker down and go Musketeer Hussar against that. Musketeer's the start, so you can try to kite away the Jag Knights and use the Town Center Fire too to cover that. And then once the main anti-cav threats are gone, just then tap the Hussar button on your stable and just spam them into oblivion. Yeah. basically. Alright, so what deck is this with Aztecs? Age 2 Rush. So he is sticking to the same script, except he's modified the deck slightly. He's gotten rid of the mine card. He's got 600 gold, wood, 5 vil. Does have the stealth, speed, and hit point upgrade for the coyotes. It's got coyote, warrior priest, puma, and tons. Yeah. So what is Aztec's main advantage going to be going in with a rush like that? Well, what they're going to do is they're going to use the community plaza, which they start up in age 1, and put their warrior priest on, since the warrior priest carries more weight on the building than normal build doing a dance on, so the effect is stronger with warrior priest compared to using regular builds on it. And he's gonna probably be trying to go to get 4 warrior priests through this, so 1 plus 3 equals 4, and then try to pump out usually 3 to 6 usually pump out like 3 to 6 more of the warrior priests. Get as many as you can so you can get the most maximum power on your community plaza there, if you can. That's really what you want to try to do, because it's a community plaza that you're going to put on to the attack dance, and thus get your attack up on your slingers, your pumas, and your coyotes. So that's basically what you're going to try to do there, I think. Now, the France, I don't know about the France, so let's see what the France is up to. So the France is going to be playing W. Water. Just like Hucko's Bale said, water! Like that, so water. Quartermaster, 400 wood. That's pretty predictable. So in terms of water, it's only going to be a counter water deck. So no fish boom at all, just countering your opponent's war. Obviously, this Aztec isn't even going to be considering Navy. He's just going to go in with an attack, right? But if you're dealing with more of a Kinesi Aztec, Kinesi's Aztecs are way more fish boom oriented. So against him, you would probably want to have counter water. But here, you really don't need it against this guy, because he's just going for a regular all-out land rush, completely ignoring the water on this map, I think. Yeah, basically. Alright, so we got 4 CBDs coming in for France. They will probably open up barracks or stable, I'm assuming. Right? And now it looks like Aztecs are shipping in 700 wood. Very good. Wood is good. Where are they going to put their war hut now? Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Where is the wood going to go? Yeah. Let's see what the plan's going to be in this area. Okay, so the Explorer did get Cherokee Rifleman. That's pretty nice. Has his big bun batch of Jag Knights out. Ready to go. So the France will open up stable and start pumping Hussars out. So that means basically the France will not be able to engage with his army right away. He's going to have to basically just raid the Aztecs, make it real miserable for them. And then when he's got the sufficient numbers to one out the Jag Knights, he can then probably start proceeding to do that. Yeah. Okay, so now he's got about 3 Hussar. 4 Hussar, and now looks like, yep, another CBD coming in, right? Very nice. So he's got 4 Hussars right here. Pretty good mass. Now, what he's going to do, he's going to have to dodge these Jag Knights. He really doesn't have the mass to do it yet. Definitely, so where's he going to go? He's going to go up near the water, see if he can reach his enemy's base. Take out some of the bills, because if he's assuming what this is going to be like last time, Aztecs are going to slap down their war hut and then they're going to go all-out attack. You know, they're not going to consider age 3 movement at this point, because obviously what Aztecs do is they go with the messenger first, so they're literally forced to get Kalmakak to potentially make it to Fortress Age if they start that way, which, you know, you can do, but obviously you have to wait for a card for it, and it's a little bit less convenient to do so. Yeah, so they usually wait till the very end before you call that on. Alright, so you got 4 Hussars here. Now the French is in Barracks Musketeer. That's exactly what I told them to do. You're going to have to go with a mixture of Musketeers and Hussars. Because here's the thing. you're dealing with these very powerful melee units here, these Jag Knights. And you might potentially be dealing with spearmen as well. So you're going to need a range troop of some kind to cover your hussars from those potential anti-cav units. And looking at the Aztecs, he's going to be starting with coyote runners. He's actually got 2 war huts. He's got one here, he's got one up there. So he's going with a double coyote runner push to go for a really good raid there. He's probably going to meet them up with his Jag Knights, so he can try to attack the muskets probably and the hussars. That's what we're probably going to see here. Alright, so top coyote runners reaches the base. I'm assuming more are going to be coming out as well. Though it does look like Aztecs are a little bit light on wood right now. Yeah, so what they're going to do is they queued up more coyote runners, and then they sent the big boy shipment of the Anton and Slingers to add a bit of anti-musket into that mix. Right, so here we see coyote runners running into the base, but they're quickly met by hussars though, which they're going to have to pull back from, because hussars is, you know, a really good unit there, basically. It does a bit of snare work, and will completely obliterate coyote runners. So if you see hussars with your coyote runners, you do have to get out of there. Because look at the stats, it's 155 HP and 18 attack versus 320 HP and 30 attack, so it's like night and day. It's a big problem to try to fight those, at least without proper swarming numbers, yeah. Now this is not good. He got some free slashes on his troops there. It's not good at all. So he actually has a ton of anti-cav. He's got like a Nuka Clubman over there they attacked him with, so. But problem is, he's all isolated with these Jag Knights, so what the France is doing, he's snaring him with the hussars, and then he's letting the muskets one-shot them. One by one, GG. Yeah. Yeah, once you lose those Jag Knights, you lose your momentum and you have to pull out. Never mind. What do you mean, never mind? Do you have a plan, man? Oh, wait a minute, you thought you could fight the Explorer then? No, you gotta get up there and... okay. Alright. He thought he saw an avenue somewhere, but I just wasn't seeing it either, honestly. Yeah. Alright, so now